Welcome to Mishna study Masechet Pesahim Perek Bet Mishna Aleph. Over here in this Mishnah, this Perek, we're going to continue discussing the laws of benefiting, eating from Hamess. Over here, we're going to move into really benefiting. When you're allowed to have Hana'ah, until one can benefit from Hamess. So Kol She'ashu Mutar Le'echol Ma'achila Behema L'Chayav L'Avot U'Mochron L'Achli U'Mutar B'Hana'ato. Right. So anytime a person's allowed to eat, right. So this Mishnah is according to Ramban Gamliel. Right, that anytime you're allowed to eat teruma, so it's going to the fifth hour, right, you're allowed to feed your animals. Now it could be behema, haya, undomesticated, or birds. It doesn't matter which one, right? Each one will eat it very differently and leave a mess differently. Even so, you're allowed to give them, give them to eat. And what we say now, yeah, so that's what you go ahead allowed and do, and this is correct, right? As we mentioned, the entire fifth hour. This is according to Rabban Gamliel. You're allowed to go ahead and do this. Now, avar zemano. Now, the Mishnah continues. You're allowed to go ahead and sell it to a goy, right? Why does he have to tell us you're allowed to sell it to a goy? If give it to your animals, you could also sell it to a non-Jew. This is to really push away the opinion of Bet Shammai. Bet Shammai actually holds you're not allowed to. Bet Shammai actually says if a person sells his Hamess to a goy, even before Pesach, he needs to know that he gives enough time for the goy to finish eating it before Pesach starts. No, that's dahui, right? That's pushed out. That you're allowed to go ahead and sell it to a goy, even if the goy is going to use it on Pesach. So over here in this case also, you're allowed to go ahead and sell it to a goy. Umutar ba'anato, you're allowed to benefit it altogether. How are you allowed to benefit it? If you're burning the Hamess before the time of bi'ur, right? You're allowed to go ahead and benefit from those coals afterwards, right? Even on Pesach. According to Rambam, you're allowed to benefit from those coals on Pesach because it's not considered Hamess anymore, right? Because you took care of it beforehand, before the time of the bi'ur. Now, avar zimano, let's say the time passed, right? Now you're already past the time where you're not allowed to benefit from it. You passed the fifth hour. Asur b'hana'ato, you're not allowed to benefit from it. Now you're not allowed to benefit at all. Right? Even though midoraita, it's supposed to benefit from the 12 o'clock and on, right? From 7th hour and on. Over here, even though it's midrabanan in this hour, it's asur b'hana'ah, like all isure deoraita, to the point of if a person went ahead and was mekadesh and isha, he proposed to a woman, right? Anytime you propose to a girl, if it's something that's shaveh pruta, right? If it has the minimal amount of that value, the engagement counts. But over here we say no, it has no value. That Hamess has no value at all. And if a person went, it was mekadesh, a woman, there's no safek even, right? There's no safek. She's not en chosheshim lekidusha. We disregard his engagement, right? Even though the Hamess was only midrabanan, and it's in any case, even if the Hamess was only midrabanan during this midrabanan hour, right? Let's say it was wheat that became moist, right? That's what Rambam explains. Even so, it doesn't count. Now, similarly, lo yasik bo tanur v'chirayim, right? Meaning what over here? If you burned it, right now, in the time frame, meaning you didn't burn it early, you burned it, when you're past after the time you're not allowed to benefit anymore. So you're burning it during that 6th hour. During that time when you're burning it, you're not allowed to benefit from that burning, right? Because then you can't go ahead and heat up your oven during that bi'ur hametz time if you're doing it after that time frame, after the 5th hour, right? Because then he's benefiting from the heat. Rabbi Yehuda Omer, now we have another machloket. En bi'ur hametz ela srefa. The only type of bi'ur hametz, getting rid of hametz, needs to be done through burning. You need to burn your hametz. Chamim omrim mefarer v'zoreh laruach umatil hayam. Chamim say no, a person could break it up into pirurim. Mefarer is the verb for pirurim. Pirurim are crumbs. So you break it up into crumbs and you throw it. You throw it into the air, right? Or you throw it into the sea. And halacha is like Hachamim in this regard. Halacha is not like Rabbi Yehuda. But it's important to mention that if the bread was dry, right, that he's not allowed to go ahead and just throw it into the river until he actually breaks it up into small crumbs, right? Because he needs to go to really get rid of it. You can't have just throw the whole piece of bread in, Right? You have to actually break it up, and based on the how soft or how dry the bread is, you also will need to break it up into smaller pieces and each accordingly based on what the size of the bread is and how dry that bread may be. That's really going to indicate how small of a piece you need to break it up.